When we're looking at strength athletes, so these are the best people in the world, and we look at things like squats, and we look at things like bench press, so these would be big strength movements. The best power lifter in the world, okay, in the 40 to 49 age category can squat 260 kilos to 280 kilos. That's the best person in the world. These are male numbers, okay? If you're looking at a bench press, it's 180 to 200 kilos. As we go down then, the next bracket is 50 to 60, let's say. All right, so there's a bit of a drop off, so 260 to 240, okay? Then we go from Masters 3, so it's 60 to 90. So it goes from 240 to 210, and then we go down into the 70s, it's 150. If you're just looking at that bracket, what's any noticings that you have there?
The weight's dropping significantly for the last squat.
Yeah, so
Bigger loss in the last two.
yes, so the bigger loss in the last two. What I would say though is that if you go from your 40s into the 50s into the 60s up towards 70, there's not a huge deterioration, is there, in terms of what the best people in the world can do. So it's kind of shown that deterioration is slow but steady enough, but there's still huge numbers. Does that make sense? So this idea of I'm a certain age, so therefore I can't be strong, or I'm a certain age, I can't be fit, I'm a certain age, I can't be powerful, doesn't exist. These people are still hugely strong. But then when we get into our 70s, there's a huge drop off. So for somebody who hasn't been training, so again, if I was to sit down with somebody in their 50s and they're like, listen, sure, I'll wait till later on, it's going to be very hard to claw things back. Now again, for us here, we're just normal human beings, all right? So we're not going to be hitting these numbers. But if this is what the best people can do, we could do a portion of that. Does that make sense? When we're looking at next thing, these are marathon times. So Eliud Kipchoge, the best marathon runner ever, is 2:01. Then when we move into the kind of 35 to 40, it's like 2:06. So again, a tiny difference. And if we just come down through the numbers, the best marathon runners from the 65 to 69 is 2:36. So again, the point that I'm trying to get at here with these numbers is just because somebody is older doesn't mean that they can't be really, really fit. These 2:06 people, now again, they're the best masters athletes in the world, but they would smash probably 95% of the people that are on the Dublin marathon line, regardless of their age, wouldn't be able to do that number. So the idea of, I'm older, so therefore I can't get fitter, I can't get stronger, isn't true. Does that make sense? And then the last one is just sprint performance. So if we think about the first table that we had is kind of strength, and we were kind of talking about that strength piece in terms of one of our quadrants. The next piece then is cardiovascular endurance, okay? And then this piece would be, sprinting would be an expression of power. So if we look at Usain Bolt, he's going to be 9.58 seconds for the 100 meters. And then as you start to come down, even somebody in their 50s can do 10.8, all right? Which is like, if I was on the line with that person who's like 50 odd, the distance between me finishing and them finishing would probably be from here out to the road. So that's how much quicker they would be than what I am. Like huge, all right? And then we go all the way down. This lad here, Charles, he's obviously a rock star, all right? But we go all the way down. And this guy is running in 12.35. That's like, you know, most Irish college athletes are probably running around that time. So again, the point being, he's an outlier, he's a superstar, whatever we want to say. The point being that if we train these qualities consistently over a lifetime, they don't actually deteriorate that much. Does that make sense? And again, very often we think, I'm just whatever. Like I even be saying to myself, look, I'm 40 now. I said it at the beginning. It's like, I'm just, no, I could still have way more fitness than what I do, okay?